Is Dank gonna join us? Probably not.
I have no idea. To be completely honest with you. So let's what we got here. What we got here. I think we should talk about the shit that Gibson sent in the group chat earlier with Fast X.
Oh yeah, we just start that off.
What you guys want to start off with?
Fast X.
Fast that.
Ah, fuck.
So, from what you saw out of the message, what do you think is going on in the franchise?
Hey, I did not see that coming because I actually saw. I mean, on Vin Diesel's Instagram, he was actually with Justin Lin, the director, and basically he was like, they look like they're all happy and shit. Because Vin asked him, he was all like, he said, "You think this is gonna be the best one?" And he's like, "Absolutely." So for them to look all happy and say all good praise about this last Fast and Furious, to get the news that, hey, barely in starting the production, he calls it quits, which I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but for him to quit, that has to be something. But I'm hearing, well, they're saying that it's created differences. That's why he probably left.
Do you think it would be creative differences between actors and director, or just other people in production?
I think it might be Universal and the director.
Okay, that kind of makes sense.
And shit could be. I mean, because Vin Diesel's really close with Justin Lin. I mean, you got to think Justin Lin started off with Tokyo Drift,
Right.
and then he did Part 4, then he did 5, and then he did 6, and he bailed out on 7 and 8, and then he came in on 9. So, and he said he wanted to finish it out, but to hear him call it quits, that's a shocker. Like, damn, what? So, I'm like, I'm wondering what happened for him to be like, all right, let me call it quits. Because the Fast and Furious, they're known to have some issues behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see what Vin Diesel comes out on his Instagram, on social media, and addresses this situation, because I know he's gonna have to.
Oh no, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody. If you're just joining us today, this is episode 2 of Next Realm TV. I'm here with my hosts, Divine and Red, as well as
What
myself,
up?
Bully Bull. We tapped in, talking about some Fast X. Red, what's your take?
Mine said it. I want to know what's going on. Like he said it. I saw too the post that when Vin Diesel posted he was with Justin, and like to come out and say, "Hey, I'm not gonna be part of it." Like something must have been stressed that relationship that he had with the Fast saga. Like something's not quite to his take and not wanting to direct that movie.
Right.
So that's what I'm thinking.
That's like it's a big mystery right now, on social media, to be like, damn, all right, you're gonna call it quits.
And what's worse is that they had already, kind of posted that they were together and they were working together, and then just all of a sudden, just boom, oh, I'm out. So what happened?
I know. I want to know, like, man, what happened?
That's what I want to know too.
And now it's all like, because they already said that they're looking into replacing. Of course they got to find a replacement, so they're already looking into that right now. But I'm all like, okay, if Justin Lin's not going to direct it, who's going to come in and finish it out? Because I want to know if Justin Lin's not, because they're trying to break it up into 2 parts. They said so. Part 10 is going to be breaking up into 2 parts. So is Justin Lin not going to come in and direct this part? and come back for the last part, or he's not gonna come back at all.
I don't think it's gonna be at all. I think he's out.
Yeah, I think he's out too.
Mm.
Well,
But then again, I mean, it could be like the whole situation with James Gunn with Guardians of the Galaxy. He was out, and then we went to go do Suicide Squad, and then he came back, basically.
But see, the reason why James Gunn got fucking fired from Disney and Marvel is because
Well, it's because of his old tweets, which is kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you subject someone to something like that, then everyone should have been fired.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Shit. So I know.
Critical on Disney's part.
And Justin Lin has been working for them with already in 5 movies and over the course of 10 years. So something happened to strain that relationship.
In the matter of, when was the post?
Today.
Yeah, today.
Vin Diesel and him posted a picture today.
Oh no,
that was probably like at the beginning of the week.
Yeah.
Damn! In a matter of days.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That.
That's why it's a big shocker. Like, what the hell? So now I'm all like, who's gonna come in and direct this the last chapter of the Fast Saga? You know.
I don't think of anything. Well, I mean, you can reach out to the one who did Tokyo Drift.
Well, that was Justin Lin. He directed Tokyo Drift.
Oh, that's true. That is true. God damn, that's true. That's true. You know what? I always wanted them to come back to Tokyo Drift and do a sequel.
I'm like, I wouldn't mind to have James Wan come back, but I know he's still working on.
He's on Aquaman too. He's not coming back anytime soon, unless they delay it.
Yeah, and that's if he really wants to come back and be like, all right, do I want to come back to the Fast Saga and direct the last 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a surprise for them to replace Justin Lin and see who's gonna come in and direct it. So we shall see. Shit.
Yeah, I think it's I think by the weekend they'll probably have some more straight answers.
Yeah, we don't have to, because like they said, everything's on pause right now. So they said
in production already. It was already in production, right?
Yeah.
Filming something. Yeah.
Yeah, because they already what is it? Charlize Theron already posted a picture with her and Jason Momoa on the set. It's already in motion.
Right.
But that's to me, it's still a shock.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I honestly don't know. They literally have to do a statement about it.
I know. A lot of people are like, they're like, damn, what the hell happened?
Yeah, I mean, they've been hyping it up and everything, and then just all of a sudden they just lose the director.
What the
hell? And it's not like a franchise that's just started and everything. It's been going on for a while now.
Yep. I'm all like, first The Rock said he ain't coming back. Now Justin Lin say, y'all quit. It still don't look right.
Oh, yeah, it does not.
I'm all like, what the fuck? So, yeah, it's gonna be real interesting to see what they're gonna do, how they move forward.
What they can do at this point.
I mean, yeah, they got plenty of time. I mean, like, shit, they got time to actually get it right. But I just want to know the reason why Justin said, fuck it, I quit.
Yeah. It's definitely a mind-boggling thing.
Yeah, that, and I want to know how Vin Diesel feels. Like, damn, like.
Oh, he's probably mad.
I know.
Like, it's betrayed or something.
Like, what the fuck, Universal? What the hell? We just started production.
Oh, yeah,
they're like
caught him off guard, too.
Shit.
Because it's like, what was it? Like we've already seen the Fast and Furious franchise kind of like take a small decline after Dwayne Johnson didn't want to do it anymore, and then now you have this, and it's like, well, where the fuck is Fast and Furious gonna go? Like how is this movie gonna turn out?
Talk like how it is gonna turn out. I mean, I believe they. I mean, look, it's Universal, and and Fast and Furious is one of their biggest franchise, so they're gonna get it right. It's just that it's a shocker that this happened already. It happened that it started within a couple of weeks of of production, filming. But at the same time, it's like, hey, you know, they're not gonna let their franchise fucking. They're not gonna let their franchise fold
No,
because
that's
of
very
fucking
true.
and
It's
fucking
supposed to be one of the bigger movies, apparently, for the franchise too. And then it's like the finale, isn't it? So I don't think they want to just stop their momentum.
They definitely don't want to fuck this up. Now,
hell no.
I'm sure we're gonna get new information as the weeks go on. So, it's only time can tell, really, honestly, because you never know. He can just fucking come back.
Yeah.
Good.
God forbid he comes back. Dank's gonna be like, oh, that's marketing.
Yeah, he'll think it's like some conspiracy theory type shit. Like, damn, it's a strategy move. Like, nah, motherfucker, it's not a strategy move. It's probably.
There's some real deal shit going on.
Yeah, I really feel like it's a personal issue. It's something personal.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Other than that, what else you guys want to talk about? What's on the menu?
Let's see. Elon Musk posted a tweet the other day. It was actually what's today? It was actually yesterday. He posted a tweet yesterday. Said, "Now I'm gonna buy Facebook and delete it."
I saw that one.
Yo,
I saw that one.
hey, if he actually bought Facebook and he actually kept his word and just said, "Fuck, I'm deleting that shit," I wouldn't be mad. I'd be like, "Bruh, go ahead and delete that bitch."
What would that mean?
I was like,
Instagram would go too.
I'm pretty sure he'll probably keep Instagram and just say fuck Facebook.
Yeah,
I mean,
that'd be hilarious to be honest.
I mean, shit, and I know Mark Zuckerberg is probably shitting himself right now. Like, fuck, he just bought fucking Twitter. Like this.
Or he's probably just thinking, hey, I don't think he can buy it.
I mean, I don't think Facebook is up for sale.
No.
So,
But then again, you never know.
yeah, I mean, like, they could. Elon Musk can throw another crazy ass number and be like, "Hey, let me buy this bitch." Who knows? Money talk.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like he would have to buy it for way more than he bought Twitter to rip that out of Mark Zuckerberg's hands.
Oh
yeah.
Yep.
Mark Zuckerberg ain't giving up fucking Facebook like that. He like, are you fucking crazy?
I don't know.
That's like I said. It would be very interesting if he was to actually buy it, Facebook, and just said, you know what, we don't need it.
I'm just interested what the scope of Twitter is going to look like under him.
I use Twitter just to post pictures of my games, to be honest, and literally random ass tweets.
Yeah, I haven't really used Twitter out that very often, but
Me neither. I mean, I'm logged in, but I'm like, I don't really use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're more
Well, I mean, most of that's probably I probably kind of use it more just to connect with other gamers and other people play video games and stuff.
It's definitely a useful tool. I was thinking earlier, like,
Yeah.
well, what if I make a tweet about a drop, like whenever we drop merch or whatever, like that would probably get seen.
Yeah, it would. It really would. And not just to people who follow, but people, kind of just for lurking or kind of interested in what we do.
Yeah. We'll probably end up using the tool one way or
Just
another.
randomly just deep into Twitter at 3 a.m. and they'll stumble upon Next Realm Gaming.
There's millions of people on Twitter, so yeah, there's a good chance they'll actually stumble upon it. Like, hey, well,
There was one post Gibson put in our group chat that like came off like strikingly, what do I want to say? Like strikingly shocking to me. Only for the simple fact that we made episode 1 yesterday and like we just said fucking went into it. He posted a post that says YouTube wants more podcasters to film their shows, reportedly offering individual content creators $50K. Okay, we're putting out more episodes. Like, you know what I mean?
okay.
That's
Like
just
it's
crazy.
that. I know. I was all like, "Oh, like that? It's a sign."
It's gotta be.
I'm all like, "You're willing to pay to actually? You willing to pay more people to put out more podcasts and more content on it on YouTube?"
Say less.
So this next thing that I got, we might be. I don't know if we're touching an iffy subject. I mean, I don't think that we are. But YouTube, don't demonetize this fucking video. So I posted. IGN made a post. I saw this recently. It was yesterday. Doctor Strange 2 got banned in Saudi Arabia due to a homosexual character inside the movie.
But I don't know. It's a touchy. But they should have known already with the inclusion of America Chavez.
No, yeah, and I know it's kind of a touchy subject, and like it comes down to like cultural and some specific religious beliefs, but like I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the ban entirely, but they ban a lot of shit.
They do. Just I don't know.
It's definitely crazy to see. That's gonna take away their numbers. But.
Yeah. I mean, like, look, it's Disney and Marvel. They're gonna make money no matter what. I mean, like, no matter what country it is, even though it's not gonna be Saudi Arabia because they have a religious belief in which I'm not against it and shit, but that's their culture. So, but like how Disney said, they already said that. Look, they stand by the movie. They're not gonna cut it out and fucking like and just leave it out on the floor. They're gonna keep it in the movie. They're like, well, we stand by the movie. We're not cutting it out. So
Not to
Saudi
mention,
Arabia,
like, Disney
Saudi Arabia,
has
people that ain't gonna fucking be able to see it. Then shit.
they gonna have to use the internet or something. But
Oh yeah, they'll find a way. Don't even get it twisted. They'll be like, you know what? We'll go on the internet and scream the fuck out of shit.
right now, Disney has done censorship to specific like shows and movies, specifically on Disney Plus. Some of the Marvel movies, some of the hardcore, kind of movies. I don't know. I don't think Deadpool was on Disney Plus, but
Look,
I forget what clip it was. Moon Knight came out, and like, you know, there's some gruesome scenes in terms of like the combat, like when he throws his knives at people. But like the original clips, they showed like the blood splatter, shit like that. It was more on the mature side, and then if you go back and look at the after cut, it's all completely taken out.
well, yeah, because they got that backlash when they got the rights back from Netflix for the other Marvel shows like Iron Fist and Deadpool, like Daredevil and shit, right? So the ones that they have now, they still have all their original content. So you're gonna see all the blood and stuff on there and shit, but for the newer shows, I think they're going to be a little bit more cautious about it moving ahead because you got to think Disney, yeah, they're will change, which they have proven that they've changed. Like, hey, we got Marvel content, which is, some of their content is gonna be, you know, graphic, but it is what it is. I mean, like, hell, I got Disney Plus, and you can change the ratings on there. Like, you don't have to actually watch the Netflix shows if you change it to like TVPG. If you really want to watch the Marvel shows with all the graphics and stuff, then you turn it on to mature TV, and they're gonna and even like all their shows still have all their censored stuff. I mean, they haven't cut nothing out, but the new stuff that's coming moving forward, yeah, they're gonna definitely be careful.
It's interesting to see because Disney's kind of like and not to say that they do this, but Nintendo is kind of on the same spectrum in terms of like child friendliness. But like,
Mm-hmm.
they obviously have the rated M for mature games and stuff like that. So and I've seen like, for example, and I think this is probably the biggest example I can give. Dragon Ball Z, the original Dragon Ball Z, like had like all the blood and all that. Like for example, when Trunks cut the fuck up out of Frieza.
Yeah.
In Dragon Ball Z Kai, they completely censored that.
Yeah.
Oh.
They censored a lot of stuff out of that because they Dragon Ball Z Kai is a straightforward Dragon Ball Z series because it cuts out like all the little stuff,
Yeah,
stories,
the
and gets
fillers.
straight to the main stuff. Yeah. They get straight to the point,
Well, like,
you know. But that's why they aired it on Nickelodeon because Dragon Ball Z Kai came on Nickelodeon.
and like they put like the main story stuff in there and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if you're like a die-hard Dragon Ball fan, like you want to watch the fillers because it gives more backstory and content.
It does. It
context
really.
to
It
everything.
actually does. Or like the movies, they'll do that and then they'll add on more story.
Very true.
Like there's some animes that the filler is just absolutely fucking pointless. Like absolutely pointless. And
You literally could skip like 30 episodes.
One Piece is one of those. Like they just have bullshit filler episodes. Like it's hilarious, but I know that they have to have their fillers in there just to fill in space and all that. But the child demographic is definitely something that's like it's not more of a touchy subject. It's more of like a you can't do that type shit. Like they'll come at your door, like they'll come banging at your door and like take you down if you fuck with the child demographic.
I mean, like, don't change that. Don't you fucking do it. Don't do it.
Do that.
Speaking of which, this goes into that specific subject goes into another one that I think this came out last year on YouTube. It gave you the option to put whether or not your video was made made for kids or not. Because obviously a lot of children watch YouTube, and most of them don't use YouTube Kids. So if you put your video is not made for kids, obviously it's not going to pop up there. But if you don't do anything and that video pops up and it's like for example fucking Poppy's Playtime, that fucking game with the he's like blue, he's got like the big teeth.
I think I've seen it.
Basically,
Sounds familiar.
parents were getting pissed off because there would be an ad for something for the game or something like that, and he has some song that like basically in the song it tells you to kill your parents. So, and it comes up as an ad. It's not a regular video. It comes up as an ad. So, the child demographic is just it's
everywhere, to be honest.
yeah. No, most definitely. I think everywhere you go, honestly, like about good 30% of YouTube subscribers are kids.
Yep.
All right, kids, I need y'all to subscribe.
Okay, so this one that I posted this morning, that Sony made an announcement that there's going to be a Spider-Man spin-off called El Muerto.
El Muerto. Oh
El
my god.
Muerto,
Starring
starring
Bad
Bad
Bunny
Bunny.
too. I don't even
How
know.
do y'all feel about that?
He's only been Muerto's only been in 2 comic books. Like, I mean, I get you can get more liberty and stuff for it, but Bad Bunny.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know. How do you feel, Gabe?
I don't even know nothing about the character, but I'm like,
Same. All I know is that he's been in 2 comic books, and it's just like
Yeah, I
a
don't know
plus,
shit
but
about the character either, so it's like
it's like
I don't even know he
yeah, it's like
exists
a
in the
recent
Spider-Man
thing.
universe. Spider-Man just popped the shit out of the asses.
all right, so that comes to. Let me ask y'all this: there's Marvel Studios, and then there's Sony that owns the rights to Spider-Man, right? They're sharing Spider-Man rights, but they also have the rights to Spider-Man's lower category, which is the villains and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
So how do
Yeah.
you feel about Sony's approach, how they're handling that type of material of Marvel?
They have
Because
some good. I don't know. With them, it's a hit and miss here and there, to be honest. Because look, we got well, the Rami trilogy.
Right.
You know, that we have Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, who's revered now because of No Way Home. And then the whole controversy surrounding Andrew Garfield and the Amazing Spider-Man franchise, how people, with the reboot and everything that happened, but then tying it back that now that we have him in Spider-Man No Way Home, like it was Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was a fan favorite. And then you got the Venom movies, which some changes here and there, but it did pay off enough for a sequel, which then, they introduced Carnage and everything, but that one everyone's divided on as well. And then you got the recent one, Morbius. So, and then they got Craven. They have Craven the Hunter right now in production. And they have Aaron Johnson to be Craven. So, it like I said, like it's always a hit and miss with them. But then, and then we can't forget Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, just a hit and miss with them. Like they have the resources and everything, but then again, it's just the story that they want to tell.
Right.
And they give creative control.
No, yeah. I
feel like Marvel Studios, they have that creative control because they have to have that creative drive because they're dealing with comic books. That's the creative
Well,
man.
I think that's what they have for this new deal. What they did for Spider-Man. When Spider-Man, I think, and then when it involves Spider-Man and his storytelling, I think that's where they have Marvel Studios have creative control.
Right.
But anything related to Spider-Man and outside of just Peter Parker, I think that's where they have their full control. Sony.
Mm-hmm. They do, but they're also like, I think. See, they're like, I haven't seen the Morbius movie, but I heard it was like a major flop.
Yep.
And shit, like it was
I
just
haven't
like,
seen it, but I've just been reading reviews on it and everything, and seeing just clips here and there from TikTok, and it's not that great.
yeah, I heard, and plus, it had so many delays as well too, so I'm not surprised.
They're gonna
And
try it.
I mean, how they're trying to do this, how they're trying to do the Sinister Six shit, to me, it's like, I feel like they got Venom right, barely, and like
barely,
everybody,
they literally barely got it right.
Yeah, they barely got Venom right, so they're like really they're banking off of Venom what they did Morbius, but Morbius was a major flop. So now I want to know if they're like, look, let's go ahead and give the creative freedom to these writers that actually want to do this, because I feel like these damn companies like Sony, they don't get it like how Marvel does. Marvel Studios like, hey, look, y'all got, I want y'all to tell a story, a fantastic story. Take some of the stuff out of the comic books, that the material that we have, and then they bring it to Kevin Feige, and Kevin Feige's like, all right, cool, yeah, this worked. We can definitely do this. They don't have no one over there at Sony to do that. They're just like, hey, we got
They don't.
Spider Man, we got everyone on the Spider Man category. Let's just do something with that, like how Marvel's doing, but we're doing it our way. I said, don't work unless you have Kevin Feige involved, because it worked with Spider Man. All right. Yes, Kevin Feige was not involved with Venom, but just imagine if he was involved with Venom. I think Venom would be like a blockbuster, really a huge blockbuster hit.
I
I
think
think
so
his
too.
only involvement was with the end credit scene for Venom 2.
Yeah, like because the multiverse. So I feel like moving forward, because they already announced it at CinemaCon today that they're gonna do a Venom 3, of course. So but
Oh, and then
but
on top of that, well, just kind of carrying on that, there's reports saying that Adam Garfield didn't want to re-sign up with Sony to continue the Spider-Man universe.
I don't want to believe
But I
anything he
think it,
says.
I think it's more that he doesn't have. I think he probably sees what Sony's doing, but I think he might prefer to do something if Marvel Studios approached him for Spider-Man
I can see that.
and
But like,
have his
what would
own
they
universe
do?
there. Now that
Because the Amazing Spider-Man 2 ended with Rhino.
we'll probably carry from there, and then just what he's been doing.
I'm gonna ask y'all a question. So, how long do you think No Way Home was planned? Like the whole three Spider-Man thing. Like, how long do you think they had that shit planned?
I think they had that planned maybe around Endgame because the way Kevin Feige works, he likes to have everything planned out for the next 5 years. So around Infinity War, in between Infinity War, when they were planning for Infinity War and shooting Infinity War, he probably had plans of where he was going to be after Endgame. Because that's how Kevin Feige works. He's already planning 5 years ahead. Like right now, he's probably already planning what's past. Well, a great movie, like past for the next trilogy for Spider-Man already. Well, he's already writing it down and everything. But it.
It would be
I think
interesting
I
to
think
see how
they
they
knew ahead of
just.
time. They
I
probably all knew at Marvel Studios. They probably all knew Toby was coming and Andrew Garfield was coming back.
no, yeah.
that I showed y'all how the steelbook did that bit.
I mean,
Kevin
they
Feige.
brought Willem Dafoe back as the Green Goblin. I was reading an interview saying that it was always like their only plan to have Willem Dafoe uh, come back as the Green Goblin for the MCU.
They had the original Sandman too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also Doc Ock,
Yeah.
Alfred Molina.
Yeah.
They were the ones that they wanted for those characters to be interpreted in the MCU, and they brought them back specifically for them. Oh, well, with them, I guess.
Yeah, because even Kevin Feige, he even said he was all like he planned it out, but he said he was banking and hoping that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire will sign on to it, because he felt like this would be like the ultimate Spider-Man story to tell. He's all like, if they didn't sign on, then it would have been totally different.
Oh yeah,
So
because
and
I
like,
think the. No, go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say before that because the original script was supposed to involve Nightmare. Oh no, I'm sorry. There was supposed to be they had a different scenario with Doctor Strange, because he was still involved. But I think they were trying to get Nightmare involved into that Spider-Man story, kind of. But again, it wasn't too much banking with the Spider-Man villains of the past and the other Spider-Man. So it would have been a whole different approach.
Yeah, because even though Tom Holland even said like the story that they were going to go ahead and approach was going to involve Craven the Hunter, and they said the story that they were going to do with it was he said that it was pretty exciting, but they said that they didn't want to tell that story yet, so they put that
Yeah,
on the back burner.
it was the Last Hunt
Yeah,
based off that comic book. Yep.
yeah, so they said they put that on the back burner because, they're like, well, we're going to do a Craven solo movie. So they're like, all right, you know what? We're going to put it on the back burner because he's all like, eventually we might tell that story later on because Tom Holland said he already signed on to do three more trilogies, another trilogy, so three more Spider-Man solo movies. And I think he signed on to do two more big Marvel crossover events.
Well, I think he has in his actual contract. I know he has one more crossover, and then he'll be doing the next trilogies, and then his other, I guess, movie events.
Yeah, because he said like he doesn't consider. He said if he sees himself playing Spider Man at the age of like 35, he's like something's wrong. So
Keep going.
the next three Spider Man solo movies will be his last three solo Spider Man movies.
I think by then they'll have probably like Miles established, or they could just do They literally could run the multiverse, and they literally would never run out of Peter Parker. Just different takes of him. But then
Yeah,
again, we have Miles Morales, Miguel O'Hara. You know, they can go the whole clone saga. With Ben Riley. So
I,
I
I
mean, they can go anywhere with it if they play their cards right.
they can, but I already know they're gonna go with the Miles Morales route. I mean, because even
Yeah,
Tom Holland said he's all like, he feels like it would be a great time to have Miles Morales come in, which I think that would be fucking interesting to see.
I think it would be dope.
I'll be like, I can see it happen. Like, okay, like, hey, Miles Morales is gonna take over, Peter Parker, which Tom Holland's gonna eventually retire from Spider Man. So
Or they could just do like, what Tom Holland doesn't want to come back because he wants to take a break from acting or something, and they just put Miles Morales front and center, and they have Spidey like an off mission, off world or something. In the
yeah,
meantime,
yeah, they can definitely go a lot of ways with this. But I loved how they actually No Way Home all came together because I'm all like they actually brought back two classic Spider-Mans. And I really did feel like Andrew Garfield needed that redemption story
oh, he
because
did, he really did, and God, I remember
yeah,
watching the theater, just everyone just clapping and just screaming, and it was a beautiful, beautiful
yeah,
moment when he did the save.
because the amazing. I mean, I love it. I actually like the Amazing Spider-Man saga. Like 1 and 2 was good, but when I found out that they were gonna do a third one, I was all like, "Damn, y'all just shitted on him."
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened.
I'm all
I
like,
think
I'm
they
like, nah, go ahead.
I think I was just gonna say I think they ended it. I mean, how they did with Amazing Spider-Man 2 and everything. They told that storyline where Gwen dies, and yeah, you're right. They really screwed up because they could have continued that momentum and they could have gave us an Amazing Spider-Man 3. Showing what Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man has been doing, and with all that anger and all that resentment, that sadness. What had that made him as a Spider-Man.
Exactly, because they actually introduced that in No Way Home because he brought it. They actually, it brought it up.
And it worked well.
See, it fucking worked. That's what I'm saying. Because even like a lot of people, like a lot of fans were saying, like, look, they would love to see another Amazing Spider-Man. And I think at one point Andrew Garfield did say like he's like he would be open to come back. He said, but it would have to be a good fucking story for him to come back.
But I think at this point, if he does come back, I think he would probably want Marvel Studios' involvement in it,
Yeah,
just
I
because
feel
how Sony did him dirty.
Yeah, I mean, like, cause I feel like Marvel Studios came in like Kevin Feige said, like on the Blu-ray and shit, he was all like, I was banking and hoping that they would sign on, and he said when they
Yeah.
signed on, oh yeah, so he wanted him to come back. Like, yeah, we needed to
Yeah.
tell this story with them. So
Yeah, and then literally them coming back and all that stuff was because of Kevin Feige. It wasn't anything Sony. It was literally Kevin Feige.
yep, I I felt like Kevin Feige saw like, look, we needed to make that wrong a right, and that one was a great wrong that needed to be right. So I'm definitely happy for Andrew to come back and they give him that redemption arc in the last of the fucking No Way Home. And not to knock Tobey Maguire, I was glad to see his ass come back too. And he even asked, he said he's open to come back and do another Spider-Man as well too. I'm all like, fuck.
They honestly
Maybe
could just do like another no. I mean, it won't be No Way Home level, but something that involves the other Spider-Man that help out. The main Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Or they can go and they don't really need Tom Holland Spider-Man right now. They can still
Yeah,
do a multiverse Spider-Man with just with fucking Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire because them two together was dope. Like fuck.
yeah, it was.
like what if like when they went back and shit, like it didn't work properly. You know what I mean?
They could do that too. They
Yeah.
could
They
just see. They could do, how they, when they go back, and then they could do what they've been like another one, like a prequel to No Way Home, what Andrew was doing, and what Toby was doing.
yeah, see, they can do a lot of shit, especially with the multiverse. It's like all up and running right now. Yeah, they can do so much shit. I'll be
Yeah.
like, yeah, y'all can do
I
whatever.
don't know how they would feel about it, but they could even go the Disney Plus route and give them a show.
Man,
You
and
can
that'd be
flesh out
smart.
the character way more. Because if you think about it, those that are given a show from Disney Plus, they have the creative liberty to flesh out the character more than being in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and then they've had so much time with their characters, and they know what they're doing. So, I mean, being able to flesh that out in the show every week and everything, that'd be great for them too.
Oh, hell yeah. I can definitely see them fucking doing like a mini
I
series
think
on Disney Plus.
that would be a completely different level of seeing a Spider-Man live action series. I think that
Well,
would be crazy.
they got that it's not coming. I don't know when it comes out, but they have that Spider-Man prequel show with Tom Holland, which is based off his freshman year.
Oh yeah, they sure do, but that's
So
gonna
I
be
mean,
animated too.
so they're technically gonna be a Spider-Man show, but they could do a live action.
Yeah, but that one that you're talking about is gonna be a cartoon though.
I know that's what I'm saying though, but they could eventually do an
Yeah.
actual live action for Spidey,
Yeah.
or
I
like
think
the
that
days
would.
they introduce us to they bring in Miguel O'Hara or Ben Riley, Peter Parker's clone. Like they could give them a show while we still have Tom Holland's Peter Parker and then Miles Morales in the movies, and then they can be popping up back and forth while they're still continuing Spider-Man stories via the Disney Plus shows.
This just gonna make me want to play Spider-Man tonight.
Yesterday was Kakarot, today Spider-Man.
This just gonna make
I'm
I'm
waiting.
still
I'm
gonna
waiting for. I'm waiting for Marvel's Avengers to give us those No Way Home skins.
that's gonna be dope.
That's all I'm waiting for. I want that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man suit.
That's gonna be dope.
That's gonna be dope. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
be
not
down.
gonna lie. I really hate that they changed Parker's face in the PS5 version of Spider-Man.
I don't. When I heard and what I mean, the reason why they did that, and I don't, I don't know. They should have just kept it how it was anyway. But the reason for doing that was for because they felt like the Peter Parker needed to like look older, and
Yeah,
I'm all like, well, he already was. we're already were comfortable with the original Spider-Man on the PS4 anyway. I'm all like, why'd y'all change it on the PS5 remaster?
Exactly.
Like that made no fucking. That really like. I think that was a dumb move on their part, but I mean, hey, I still play it, but shit.
Also
It's
play. Like I took a good picture with that Spider-Man, and it grew on me. It took me a while to get used to when I was playing Miles Morales, seeing that new Peter's face model. I was like, I don't know.
yeah, man, cause I fuck around. I mean, I go back and play my PlayStation 4 games and shit, so I'll be like, all right, the Peter Parker here. Yeah, I'm used to this motherfucker. Now I got the new one that I gotta get you. Like, what the fuck? Like,
I
yeah,
think it was better that they did it in Miles Morales than they would have done this in Spider-Man 2, because that would have been pretty negative for them.
I mean, yeah, they did it in a smart way though, but at the same time, I still think it was unnecessary because if they did it right then and there, they should have thought of that from the beginning. Like, well, this Peter
Those
Parker
are
needs
mine.
to be older.
Those are my snacks. My
Oh,
wife is going through my snacks that I just bought.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like the PS5 version of Spider-Man and Peter Parker, like the voice only matches. Like to me, it only matches the PlayStation 4 face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does that. Yeah, no, that's all. I was thinking of it. I know I should have had said that, but yeah,
I
now
honestly,
that you said it,
I think that Peter Parker is probably one of the best one of the best voices in terms of like just
I always forget his name, but Yuri, he knows what he's doing. Then it's if you're not paying attention and you're just hearing him as you're playing Spider-Man, you'd be like, Sasuke? Sometimes when my head would go as I'm playing, I'm like, man, Sasuke, you kind of went rogue here.
like, like,
He wanted his own spotlight. He wanted to be the hero.
so let me switch it up. You said so. I'm gonna pick I'm gonna pick one of the greatest heroes of all time, Spider-Man.
Yep.
Smart move, shit.
Yeah.
that is
I
I
mean,
know,
going from like voicing Sasuke and voicing Spider-Man, like, dang, that's some power move right there as for a career for a boy as a voice actor.
man. No lie.
Yeah, like right now he's still voicing Sasuke in Boruto Next Generation, and then he did it in Miles Morales, and then he's still doing stuff for Spider-Man too.
I can't wait for Spider-Man 2 to drop on
That's gonna be
PlayStation
such a
5.
great game.
It's gonna be an epic fucking game.
It's gonna be interesting to see how they capitalize off first one.
And that too. But I mean, again, I think the whole Venom storyline is gonna be what's gonna work for them.
Yeah, because that's gonna be one of like the main stories and shit throughout the whole game is gonna be that Venom. But
But when
we're also gonna get Craven the Hunter and that shit too, though.
yep,
That's gonna be very interesting to see as well.
So I'm all like, that's what I'm saying. Like that's this Spider-Man 2 that's gonna drop from Insomniac. Man, that's gonna be pretty badass.
Props to Insomniac, man. Props to Insomniac. They need to make another fucking Ratchet and Clank.
we should not get any more Ratchet and Clanks until we get a Jack and Daxter. That man, they've had too many games and they've already gotten a reboot and everything.
We need a new Jack and Daxter. We need a new Sly Cooper.
Oh, Sly Cooper? Yeah, I feel like we need another.
Oh, yep. We get a new Sly Cooper, yep.
He's long overdue.
I mean, but if they're doing, I don't think Sucker Punch. They're not always. Well, if we get a Sly Cooper, I'm hoping we'll also get
what's their name? Spyro, like a new Spyro, but like I mean not a remake, but you know, continue Spyro.
Ooh. It would be cool to see Spyro and Unreal Engine.
Yep. I mean, we got a new Crash. I mean, and so it's anytime now. But knowing PlayStation, they'll probably wait for like the PlayStation 6 or something.
I think classic game on PlayStation 2 is very overlooked. I feel like they should do a remake. Is what's his name? Tasmanian Tiger.
That's who I was trying to say. I didn't know who. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Those games were pretty fucking good.
Those platform games are really good.
Like, they hit the ball with that one. And it was very overlooked, but I feel like we should definitely get a new one.
That was a good game too.
Not only that, I think Rareware and Microsoft should come out with a new Conquer.
Banjo and Kazooie.
Either Banjo-Kazooie or Conquer.
Dude, Conquer would break the internet if they gave us a new one.
Yeah, completely break the scope.
God, that'd be so good if they gave us that.
It is crazy to me that Conquer Live and Reloaded is one of the best looking games on the original Xbox. Like, just for its time period and what we were used to in the N64 era with the polygons.
Yeah, it looked great.
You would think that that thing is on Unreal Engine 3.
Well, I remember playing it when I played it the first time. I always thought it was it looked. I think the way it was done, it looked kind of just ahead of its time, and what they were doing at the time with it.
And at that time period, you know, they had a lot more freedom. Because in Conquer Live and Reloaded, there's a lot of censorship in terms of the Nazi teddy bears and the squirrels fight D-Day. Because in the original N64 version, when you would go through the level, you could see like some of the squirrels that were being experimented on, and in the Live and Reloaded remastered version, some of it was completely censored. But I think my personal favorite part is the Matrix part. The way they did that shit was pretty dope. Moving into something that I've been meaning to talk about. I just keep forgetting to talk about it. How do y'all feel about Snoop Dogg being put in Call of Duty?
I've been waiting to get paid to buy that outfit.
Like, I remember, and I think it was Call of Duty Ghost. They added they added a weapon pack, and they added, you can have him as the voiceover, and they did the same thing in Call of Duty Vanguard, but now you can actually play as him. And I think one of the gun skins makes it look like a giant bong. I think that's pretty funny.
It is funny.
You know, they're kind of capitalizing off of the whole like Fortnite collaborations. How Fortnite has like Naruto.
That, and didn't he sign up with one of those teams? I think
FaZe or something.
Yeah,
FaZe.
FaZe.
Yeah, I think it's FaZe. I think that's what that is.
First off, that
I mean,
that partnership like broke the internet when that shit came out. Because like, we're talking about an A-list celebrity joining a gaming team. Like, he's already done live streaming. He already does live streaming and his content and all that. You know, he's obviously been in video games before, like, you know, Def Jam and shit like that. But, you know.
Oh, sorry. I said I was gonna say that he's not the only one. One of the Mexican soccer players, Chicharito Javier Hernandez, I think he signed with FaZe as well. I think last week or something.
Wow.
FaZe is picking up a lot of people. They came a long way. They come from just, you know, Call of Duty trick shots, and now they do what they do now. But
Yep.
that whole Snoop Dogg scenario, it's pretty dope to see. I feel like they could have already done it, considering they have already had his, COD casting in the game, specifically Ghost. But now that they introduced like not weapon skins, character skins, I feel like they could have probably done it for Modern Warfare. But because I haven't picked up Call of Duty Vanguard yet,
I
but
haven't either. I've been on Warzone.
I know people are very just too completely.
They're very vocal about it.
Yeah.
Well, that and comparing it to past games.
Call of Duty needs to get on their fucking ball and fix the shotguns, because they fuck up in every single game.
Exactly.
Every single game, some shotgun is overpowered for no reason. But
oh yeah, talking about Miles Morales. He's right here.
hey. Alright, so Gib, let me know about Foresight.
Foresight.
Foresight Filter.
Oh boy, man. I'm hearing that we're gonna get Siphon Filter, but it's gonna be, but we're getting on the PS Plus. Like the PlayStation Now. I'm thinking that we're gonna get like a remake or a remaster, but it's gonna be like the old games. But they're coming. But I'm hearing that they're porting it to the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5.
Okay. That'll be interesting to see. I kind of, was hoping they'd do a remake or something like that. But, the PlayStation Now game base that they have already in the library, like, it's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good. I do not like that when you play a game, it shrinks the screen a little bit. Like, condenses it a little bit. But other than that, there's some great ass games in that catalog.
That subject, I'm hoping they take, because now that you mentioned it, I'm hoping they take that away, or make the screen fuller for when they do the whole integrating for PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now for the premium in June.
I think that would be dope.
Because if they don't, then people are gonna complain about it. They'll be like, "Hey, you guys should have fixed it, like the screen."
100%.
Like, you want people paying for this monthly, and now that you've integrated it along with PlayStation Plus, I don't think people are gonna be too happy about it.
I kind of figured why they did it, because they wanted to like make you feel like you're doing that arcade style. But like that shit's just like, it's outdated. Like, we want to see our shit on the whole screen. You know what I mean? So tell me about Fallen Order 2, Gibson. What's up with Fallen Order 2?
Well, man, I'm hearing that we're gonna get some major gameplay next month?
Yeah.
Oh, I think they're gonna show it at Star Wars Celebration. It's definitely gonna be it.
If they do,
that's they got to.
They have to. It'd be capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Well, they recently they added Cal Kestis lightsaber to Star Wars Galaxy Land out there in Disneyland. So that's pretty interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And I've been reading rumors and things like that about Cal Kestis maybe doing a live action appearance in the Ahsoka show.
I think that'd be dope.
Would be dope.
I would be interested to see like either animated, like not animated, live action series, kind of how they did with the Mandalorian with him, or they just do a movie based off of Fallen Order.
Yeah, they could do anything with it. They could tell it. I don't know how far they're thinking of doing Fallen Order, but probably
a few games after they do it, have him come to the live action part of Star Wars.
Because I think low-key that game kind of saved the Star Wars gaming world a little bit.
It really did. After the way that they handled Star Wars Battlefront 2 was bad, but they were doing a comeback and they were on top of it, and they were doing great, and then they just cut production, and we were supposed to get Ahsoka in the game and Padme, but then they stopped production because they were moving on to Battlefield 2042. So
Battlefield 2042.
you know how that turned out.
They should have stepped
But yeah,
to
and then
Battlefield.
Fallen Order came out and literally saved them.
I feel like
Okay.
there was definitely some game mechanics that they could have put in Battlefront and Battlefront 2 that could have made it more than what it was. Because I like the whole Battlefield thing,
yeah,
like
most
being
definitely.
able to fight on that battlefield, like. And in terms of that Battlefield-esque gameplay, I think that was really cool to see. But there's definitely a lot of things that they could have implemented just to really give that Star Wars experience.
The whole Clone Wars integration was really amazing. And I still have it downloaded, and I still play it from time to time. So, I mean, I would even like to see them come back and do a Star Wars Battlefront 3. That would be interesting to see. But with the whole Battlefield 2042, I don't know what kind of trust the public has with that team now.
Yeah.
EA fucking up.
Well, then there's also I don't remember the name of it, but I know they announced it, that they brought back someone who was working with I think it's Sky Studios, that they were working on that Boba Fett game.
Oh,
Or I think it was a Boba Fett game or Darth Maul game, but they brought back that person to work again to make a new Star Wars game. But I'm not sure if they're reviving those games or they're gonna just continue something else.
It'd be interesting to see the least.
It would be interesting to see an open world, Mandalorian type game.
That would be dope. I think that would be dope.
It basically would be like a Red Dead Redemption, but Star Wars.
I think an open world Star Wars game would definitely be dope.
Ubisoft was in charge of actually planning on doing an open world Star Wars game.
Yep.
But they canceled it. I'm like, damn. I'm all like, I feel like Star Wars does need an open world game, and that would be fucking badass. But
and Ubisoft is pretty good with open world games, the Assassin's Creed series. So I think they could have honestly done it.
That's why I was like, dude, Ubisoft and Star Wars would have been a perfect. Well, I know that they're still working together on a Star Wars game, but they did cancel the one that we're talking about, like that open world. They actually canceled it. I was like, damn, why the fuck I cancel that shit?
Right.
I'm like, that's what Star Wars is right now.
That would have been cool to see. And they're probably
That's
still
a
gonna
smart-
do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that we'll still get a Star Wars open game. It's just not right now.
Yeah.
But then again, they can surprise us. They can be like, hey, you know what? We lied to y'all. We actually been developing a Star Wars open game. Like, oh, what the fuck?
This was a question I was going to ask y'all yesterday, and I forgot to ask about it. How would y'all feel if they made a game based off of the Sonic movie timeline?
What?
I think that would be pretty dope.
If they did a game with both of the movies combined, how they kind of did how Sonic 06 has the hub world and all that, they could do that with Green Hills, and how they had a Sonic Unleashed where you could go through Spagonia and all that, and you had to talk to the professor and talk to all these different people, They could do a Sonic 06-esque hub world and then have the actual levels.
If they could, that'd be pretty badass though. Shit. I'm all like anything like a new Sonic that's like goes back to like the old Sonics, like the Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. You can go back and bring some shit like that back. Oh yeah, man. Sonic, I'm definitely all in.
I think that would be great to do. Like, but and, you know, what's something like Gabe was saying? Like, what if they even did they continue like Sonic Heroes and things like that? That would be pretty dope to see too.
I think a Sonic Heroes
They
2
did not.
is kind of long overdue, and I feel that they can put on teams now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see a silver team. I think that would be pretty fucking dope.
I think it would be dope.
But
I think that approach should be after they land Sonic Frontiers.
No, yeah, most definitely.
I think that's where it's going to be more.
I know they're going to definitely do a lot with that game. They're definitely going to do a lot with that game. We'll probably see some DLC content. You know, something. They're going to do something. They're going to add new areas. They're going to add new characters. I'm calling it because they always do it. They love adding new areas.
That's like the one thing they're always doing. Like even with like with the Sonic Forces, they've been added so many things to it.
I mean, it was good for what it was.
Or even their multi-game, they added the Sonic movie skins.
Yeah. That was pretty dope too.
It was dope. Because I know if you did like a certain number of races and you collected a certain number of chips, you could unlock the Knuckles skin.
I think it would be interesting, like what they could do in terms of a movie game, like bringing it back to the game side, just because of like the art style and the animation style. Because they could throw that shit on Unreal Engine and then kind of take some of the cinematics from the movie and just combine them, and then but only time can tell what Sega's gonna pull out of their ass. Real shit.
Well, everybody thought they were dying, and then they brought back the Sonic franchise. So
that is true.
Anything's legal.
I think a lot of people wanted to see Sonic fail.
Oh, definitely, just because of the whole just rivalry that's always been that with Nintendo and Sega.
So this was something that was posted by IGN.com. It's not really gaming news, but it is a topic that a lot of people are very iffy on just because of the science behind it. And due to recent findings, a lot of people are skeptical. But it says the vast majority of Americans don't want the T-Rex to walk the earth again.
I think it's just because the whole Jurassic Park movies, like even in the Jurassic Park movies, they keep screwing that up within the Jurassic Park universe.
Yeah.
Like you made a park and then they got out, and then you're making a park and then they got out again. Like maybe you shouldn't be making dinosaurs.
Right. Like they were talking about they found something on a woolly mammoth and they want to clone it and bring it back. Which for elephants.
I think it would be.
They're like 30 times bigger than elephants.
It'd be something great to see, but I don't know how that would work. Something's already out in instinct. I don't know how that would be just like bringing it back.
No, yeah.
Considering the world they were bringing them to this era where we're at, it's a whole big different change.
It's gonna be Godzilla destroying every city in the fucking world.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you got a giant T-Rex and a giant gorilla. Now we're Planet of the Apes.
There you go. And it could go that way too.
Which, what the hell happened to Planet of the Apes?
What the hell happened?
Like, I haven't heard about
Like,
Planet of the Apes in years.
I don't think they have. They probably don't have anything planned, or they're probably just waiting to rewrite what they did. And I thought it was good to have the movies going. They had good movies, but like it could just be they're just waiting for the right script to show it to everyone.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a while since we see another one of those.
That would be interesting.
But then again, we're like in that era right now where everybody wants to do a reboot or bring back those franchises from back in the day.
Right. Like, they're announcing what's the name of it?
But see, that worked out because of Ghostbusters Afterlife, so I can see why they're doing a sequel to that.
Yeah. No, yeah.
But it's like if they try to do back into the future, like some things won't translate correctly.
Right.
I guess when they're trying to make it into a different interpretation.
Right. It's like, what year did he travel? That they predicted the World Series or whatever, and that's what actually happened.
Wait, which one are you talking about?
Was it the first one or the second one that they predicted the World Series and it actually happened?
I think it was the second one.
What was that?
I think it was
2020?
second.
Was that the 2020 World Series? I forget which World Series it was, but
Wasn't it 2019?
There you go.
I think it was 2019.
That shit. In terms of pop culture predictions, I don't think anybody's gonna have anything on The Simpsons. In terms of pop culture predictions.
No.
But, you know, for that time period, in that era, when that news article came out, I was like, holy shit.
It was like a one-time thing, Simpsons prediction.
Yeah.
But it worked. It was good.
Oh yeah, good.
What is it? How do y'all feel about Stranger Things putting $30 million into each episode?
Well, to be honest, I haven't even watched Stranger Things. Like I've thought about it, but I'm not too familiar with it.
Have you watched
I mean,
it?
Nah, I haven't. I didn't find it appealing.
I mean, I watched some of it. I mean, like, I am gonna, like, eventually dive into it and watch it, like, completely all the way through. But to hear that each episode was 30 million, I mean, it's a popular ass fucking show. I mean, they want it.
Well, yeah, they're what on different. They're on the
It's supposed
fourth
to be
season,
like-
I think.
Yeah, it's like the final season, so yeah, they want to go out with a bang. It's
That makes sense.
The show's a fucking hit. Like they got a crazy ass fan base too. So
No, yeah. That is for sure.
no brainer. I mean, like, but then again, I'm all like, I'm seeing Netflix fucking canceling all this shit because their stocks went down because of that new feature that they're gonna roll out. So now they're
It's a
making
dumb feature, and then they're hiking their prices every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I haven't had it for a good year already because they've just been putting those prices up.
I don't know how to feel about the feature, just because, like, it's been around for so long that people have been doing that. I mean, people have been doing that since after Netflix first came out on a streaming platform, after they had the Netflix disc for the Wii. I don't know. It's just like there's so many people that use it, and, like, you know, I know why they're doing it. It's probably because of the numbers that they're doing, they probably want to make more numbers than what they actually are doing. Because if every person subscribed, then, you know, obviously they'd be doing numbers. You know what I mean? So, you know.
Yeah, from a business standpoint, it makes sense, but
On a consumer
should have done it from the
standpoint, it's just
beginning
like,
instead of just allowing something like that to happen.
no, yeah. I think everyone's perspectives would be a lot different. Most definitely.
Yeah, like you know, within maybe like the first year or two when they started, you know, getting popular, they should have realized what was going on and kind of started implementing things like that until, you know, they waited a whole bunch of years and now they want to do that. So I can see how people are mad about it.
100%.
So that's like making like, I mean, at that point, they might as well just have one account per person.
Right.
I mean, it's not going to be monitoring everything.
Right.
Right.
Listen, I don't know if Netflix did this on purpose, but like if you change your region, you get access to different shit. So, like,
Yeah, I've read about this. Like, I know there was different regions. They get different. Like, they have like I know some. I don't know what region it is, but I know like they have like the Spider-Man movies, or they have Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, like the whole series, and the movies and everything.
I've seen that. That shit's crazy as fuck to me. Because why don't we have that here? We gotta go purchase a Crunchyroll or Funimation account.
Yeah.
What's your preferred?
It's a
What's your preferred language to watch Dragon Ball in? Dub or sub? I mean, I watch
subtitle.
I watch
Sub. I'll watch like when like. Well, at first it was dub, but then with the whole Dragon Ball Super coming out, and I was watching it. I joined this Facebook group of Dragon Ball Z, and they would post it every time it would come out, and I was watching it on sub. And then when I was available on dub, I'll watch it on dub. Like heck, even growing up, I was watching it. Like I'll watch it in English when it was coming out, but then sometimes in the weekends they'll have it in Spanish. I watch it in Spanish. Like the whole Frieza saga, I know that by heart in Spanish.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, it honestly depends. But there are moments that feel different or impact you differently. Like the whole Goku, like Shanshimo's screaming as Goku is a whole different compared to in the Japanese dub.
Right. No, yeah, 100%.
Like it's all different.
Everybody's so used to Goku's American voice. It's just like when you hear the Japanese Kakarot voice, it's just like it doesn't match. His, everybody else kind of matches, but he doesn't match. But
well, like yeah, exactly. Like for example, when I was watching Dragon Ball Super, the Japanese voice actress of Goku, I think she also voices Gohan. So you could hear the similarities to Gohan and Goku in the Japanese version compared to the English version.
No, yeah.
But I don't know if I'm wrong on that or that was just me.
Speaking of animes, like, was there ever a Pokemon made in sub?
Good question.
Because I went online one day and I was trying to find Pokemon in sub because I was like, well, what would it sound like? I could never find.
Well, they have it right now.
Well, what?
They have it. Well, I mean, I don't know if they had it back in the day, but like with the current regions and everything, like right now with the whole championship that's going on, they have it in Japanese.
I want to hear the original sub just to see what it is. What it looks like.
I think they do. I think they do have it. I would assume it would start it over there. I don't know why they would do it out here first.
Definitely gotta find it, but
I'm sure it exists.
I feel like it has to, just in terms of like the whole.
But if it didn't, I assumed later back throughout the years they went back and had that going.
No, yeah, it's kind of like how Dragon Ball was doing it, where you pretty much had to watch the entirety of Super and sub because it wasn't going to get a dub for like 4 or 5 months.
Exactly.
So, you know. But Dragon Ball had its, delays just because they wanted to air it on TV. So, the dub obviously took a little longer. But I liked it in sub. I liked it in sub. I feel like it gave a level of, because, just in sub in general, the emotions are definitely different. So, I feel like those.
Oh, it definitely was.
Like, just even seeing somebody power up, it gave a certain level of emotion that you won't find in the American version.
Yep.
So. Purple Vegeta,
I think,
man. Purple Vegeta.
well, personally, I think Jiren sounded more menacing in the sub than the dub.
Oh, yeah, no, 1,000%. 1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. It's like it's the opposite side of the spectrum of Goku, but they did what they could. There's a lot of characters that when you just listen to a sub, it just matches more, and then some characters obviously when you listen to an American, then it just matches more. Like the core main Dragon Ball characters, like everybody knows those voices: Piccolo, Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Krillin. Bulma, like everybody knows those American voices. Frieza too. Which Frieza almost sounded, to me at least, almost sounded identical.
Yeah, I could see it.
And I know some of those voice actors, they probably could do both of them. So that's probably why there's some similarities between the two.
I know Vegeta's and Piccolo's is the same one, and Mr. Popo.
Piccolo-san.
Mr. Popo. Didn't they make him purple at one point? Or was it in Dragon Ball Z Kai that they changed his color?
I think it was Kai that did that.
How they did with Jinx and from Pokemon.
Yeah, I think they did, but I don't know. I think it was just like for a brief period.
Which, in my personal opinion, the whole controversy behind the Jinx Pokemon thing, it's just like, I don't know how to feel, honestly, like truly about it, but, it's a double-edged sword. It's definitely a double-edged sword.
Well, I don't know. The Pokemon show, there's a lot of always controversy there with them, just with the episodes that they had, and then the censoring, like even just with the Polygon one, because of the flashes and the strobe lights and everything. Like after that, Polygon never appeared in the show until like recently, I think, like a month ago.
Polygon.
Something like that.
Is on the island of the Misfit Toys.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Jeez.
So, but I think it's more because just Pokemon is more of like a child's thing, or it's always just catered to the children.
No, yeah.
So I think that's why they're always more touchy about it when it comes to them for censoring.
I miss the original Pokemon. I wish they would have added on to that. I mean, they did the movies, obviously, but like just adding on to that series would be pretty dope.
I think they should have continued what was it called? The Pokemon Masters? I don't know. I remember they did the anime with Red and Blue.
Yeah.
Like a few years ago.
Yeah.
I think they should have continued that.
That was what with what the fuck is that game called? Is it Mystery Dungeon? It's an RPG game, or like similar combat based off of Paper Mario.
Is it a Mystery Dungeon?
Yeah, there you go. I think it was Mystery Dungeon, right? Because they had the little handkerchiefs, little scarf things.
Yeah, Mystery Dungeon.
They slept on stuff.
But yeah, I don't know. At this point, there's so much that they need to do with Pokemon that should sometimes it should be just like they should just stop.
I think they should just stop. I'm done with Pokemon.
I don't think Pokemon's ever going to die. But I think it's time for them to just lace up the boots and put them on the shelves, pass the torch down.
Yeah, I think that's what they should do. Well, even right now, just how it's airing, from what it looks like, I think they might make Ash the new champion, the next world champion.
Ash Ketchum.
Because the one that's with him right now, Go, he's literally been catching everything he throws a Pokeball at. So like, for me, and when I watch it with my son, I think Go would probably be the right move to go with, just moving forward, and just leaving Ash Ketchum behind. He never grew up. Dang, we don't need him anymore.
He really didn't. He didn't age at all.
Yeah, maybe like I think in the 6th region, I think they let him grow like a year. So I think he's like 11 or 12.
Wow, what the fuck? Is he a teenager by now?
Yeah, he should be an adult by now.
Well, Ash Ketchum should be champion. He should be like 3 times champion.
He's only been champion once.
Ever.
Of the Alola region, and that's because they just started the Pokemon League there. So that man has already been fighting a long time before that.
Right. No, yeah.
Man was a veteran and came and destroyed all these rookies. No wonder he won.
Literally.
But it was he deserved it. He deserved that one.
I hate how they just they never, and this, I think this goes in every Pokemon series, they obviously have their references, and there's some little snippets, but like, they never talk about previous Pokemons and events. It's like it's a completely, like, they set it up like it's a completely different timeline, almost. In a sense, at least, I think.
Yeah, they were doing that up to this new, with the 7th one, is it 7th? With the 8th region, with this new show that they got going, it seems that with the Sword and Shield animation that they've been doing, they've been giving him, like, they're visiting all the different regions from the past, and he's seeing his Pokemon back, and then he's seeing old rivals and things like that as he's moving forward and pushing forward to, beating his way up the ranks, for the World Championship now. I think last I saw it, I think he was ranked 8 already.
Oh yeah. I think.
But I mean, I don't know. I think his time has passed at this point. And it's not his fault or anything. It's literally a game. Pokemon as a franchise.
Right. Speaking of Pokemon, how did y'all feel about Detective Pikachu?
I thought it was a good movie. That was a good movie.
Detective Pikachu?
Yeah. I like the world that they made.
It did so good at the box office. I want them to do another one. Ryan Reynolds said that they're not going to do another one and shit.
What? What movie?
Detective Pikachu.
I mean, it would be.
They could, but
it would be.
I don't think he wants to do another one.
It's just Ryan Reynolds is not a voice actor, so he's very live actiony. He's always on the big screen. So they probably.
Detective Pikachu was pretty dope. I liked it.
I like the way they fleshed out the Pokemon there. Just it looked really good. From Charizard to Gyarados to, obscure ones that people don't even like or that much. It looked good.
No,
I mean,
yeah.
like, does it need a sequel? No, it doesn't need a sequel. But
They
if
could
they
just
want,
build upon that world.
they definitely could.
They could just take that animation and just do the whole just like Pokemon series as itself.
I can see that.
I'll probably watch that. Shit.
Yeah.
Watch the
Redo
whole lot.
Pokemon and have Ash grow up like that.
Pokemon.
I'll be like,
Yeah.
fuck out.
I think it would have been interesting to see him grow. Naruto and like how Dragon Ball's character grew. Just in terms of, the storyline.
Yep.
There's a lot they could do. There's a lot that they can and probably cannot do in terms of canonicity, but it would be interesting. I know that for sure.
Yeah, you're right. They can. They definitely can, dude.
We ought to see an anime multiverse crossover movie.
They do what?
An anime multiverse crossover movie.
Oh, that'd be something to do.
That, because like how like Jump Force, has all the different characters and whatnot, and they obviously have their own storyline for it, but like it would be pretty cool to see that.
That'd be interesting to see.
Strongest motherfuckers across.
I mean, they would even have to just get a Dragon Ball Z movie correct first.
1000%.
That would be crazy. And then how there's just so much anime now, so I mean, they could do anything.
Hell yeah, they can do a bunch of shit.
That's true.
That they definitely can. Be like, what would you guys do?
So, in terms of the things that we had in the group chat, we've pretty much touched base on those. What else we got?
Let's see what else we got. Let's see. What do we have on the menu? Quit it. We talked about that. We talked about what else is new?
Oh, okay. I got one because we didn't touch on this yesterday, and I said we were going to touch on this today. The quote that you posted in our group chat yesterday. So, Big Cheese Kit came out with a quote that says, with the amount of time and money players invest in building their profiles to reach higher levels in the game and compete with their friends, gaming accounts can be as valuable as a coveted art piece. So meaning digital space stuff, so like, an NFT or whatnot. My personal standpoint on that, and this has been something that's already been done in terms of selling accounts. Biggest example, Fortnite. All the rare ass fucking skins you can sell off your account for like $6,000 type shit.
Yeah.
But how do you guys feel about if our gaming accounts became more valuable in terms of, let's say, our gaming accounts ended up giving us some sort of passive income, or it held real-time value based on the stature that's in. So based on like how many trophies we have, based on how much playing time we have, whatever our most played game is, stuff like that. I feel like, what do you guys think on those data points that you know, and what in your eyes do you think that can make gaming accounts more valuable in terms of um, being pushed on the same level as some of these digital space items?
I'll let Divine go first.
I mean, to me, that's well. I For me, I actually would think that having credits towards your going to your gaming and shit, I think that's pretty cool because shit that holds you accountable and it makes you want to play your fucking games even more to be like, hey, shit, I can get credit for this shit. It changed it does change things. That's like a game changer in a way because that might even motivate even more gamers to fucking go even more harder on their games.
I think that would bring out the competitive scene a lot more as well.
It definitely would. I mean, shit, would you're some of the games that we play as competitive as it is anyway. I mean, shit.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, like, look, the gaming world is changing. I mean, like, let's be real. It's fucking changing. Everyone pretty much fucking games nowadays. Doesn't matter what age group you come from. Doesn't matter what nationality you are. You're motherfuckers game. Shit. So
It's a
it,
form of
it
entertainment. It's a lifestyle for everybody.
yeah, it's a fucking billion-dollar business. Shit, believe it or not, it is. But this shit's a fucking game changer. This shit, gaming is gonna be bigger than the movie industry. It's gonna change. That really is gonna take over the movie industry, you know, in a sense, in time. So,
Yeah,
hey,
I
if
think
if
so too.
I'm like, if they really do that shit, I'm all like, dude, I get credit for playing games. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna play some games. Shit.
No, yeah. What's your take, Red?
Well, well, at one point, I think it would be pretty cool. I know that at one point PlayStation had like this thing where you could, I think, trade your trophies digitally, or I think give them back to PlayStation for like a
What?
certain incentive. But I don't know if they're still doing that. But it was like, you know, if you wanted to get a game, you'd have to give up like a few number of platinums or gold trophies and things like that.
Okay.
But I don't
Oh,
think it worked too well because you would lose that. So I don't know if people wanted to lose their trophies, you know, because
Well,
nowadays,
do you think it would give them the option to get the achievement again, or once it's set in stone, it's kind of just you already got it.
see, that's why I never tried it because I didn't know how that worked or it was set in stone or not. All I knew is that you would be giving up a certain number of trophies or a platinum and things like that. But I think it would be cool because I mean nowadays everyone like yeah, like you guys have been saying everyone's gaming. If it's not on PlayStation, it's on Xbox. It's not on Xbox. It's on Nintendo Switch, PC. You know everywhere.
No, yeah.
right.
And or people have multiple accounts. And having some value to it wouldn't hurt either because there's always those who are there's say you've been buying games or you've been buying DLC for games, but you're not playing it now and someone's like, hey, you know what? I wanted to get this DLC for this game, but it's not available anymore, through their PlayStation Store or Xbox Store or through Steam. But you have it and you're not going to use it. You could sell it off. They could buy it off of you. That would be pretty cool.
I think that would be
So
dope.
it'd be interesting to see, and then I think it would be pretty neat too, because I mean, it would also add value to those who maybe are too shy to stream, too shy to be on camera, too shy to be on a microphone, or are still gaming, in their own right and in their own way, and they could be getting a passive income from it.
Oh yeah.
Or
1000%.
even though not doing so much good on money too, that'd be
Right.
pretty cool to have as income for you. And I
Hold
don't
on,
want to
like,
be just those big gaming stars, like Ninja and things like that, Pokemon and all that.
Right.
You
yeah.
could be making. It won't be a lot, obviously, but it'd be something.
No,
X
yeah.
who doesn't want a little bit of extra income especially fucking playing video games. That'd be good as fuck. Hell yeah.
Oh,
Gibson's like,
it
count
really
me
would.
in.
I'll be like, yes. Like, I will definitely do it.
That would be very interesting to see.
Yeah, because that'd be a true game changer right there. So like, hey, gamers, you can earn a little bit of extra money if you just game. What?
Or it'd be like you could even, that would be like the whole thing when you're buying. If someone who just buys digital games, they could be able to trade it in or sell their digital game.
Yep. There's benefits to this shit. I'm
So, I mean,
loving it.
it's a win-win for everyone.
Yep, I'm loving it. It's good to be a gamer.
It really is.
Because there's ways of making money in this shit.
No, yeah, that's definitely for sure. It's a great year to be a gamer.
I'm all like, who doesn't want to make some extra money on the side, especially for playing games?
Yeah, something that you do already.
Even
Exactly. So why not get paid for it?
I think, some developers, they've been making very smart moves in terms of what they do in the sequels of their games. Because, a lot of people end up playing these sequels and prequels or the third installment and never played the first two, or they never played the first one or whatnot. And they give a level of newcomer experience with some of these games. Like, I know beforehand, I can't think of what series it is, but like, there'll be some games where like you have to play the first one in order to understand the second game.
No, yeah. So just because sometimes I know back then they would just, you played this game, then you're going into the sequel. How you were saying, like they just continue the story, but they don't give, what happened in the first one.
Right. Like they don't, and they don't give a tutorial or nothing like that. Like, you gotta go play the first one for the tutorial. So
Well, then again, it's like now, it's just assuming that everyone at that time was playing video games. So I think that's where also that was happening.
No, yeah.
Like you're getting a sequel for a game, and you probably should have been playing it already.
No, yeah. But in terms of the new era of gaming that we're in now, I think developers do this pretty much with any game that comes out. They always there's always a tutorial. There's always a beginner level experience for people who are newcoming not only into the gaming world but for that specific game franchise. And I think it's cool to see just how how much these developers have really evolved and stayed in touch and have stayed on pace with how the gaming era has changed over the course of the years.
Yeah.
It definitely has changed over the years. Definitely.
That is for sure.
Or it could be just something simple like, well, how we're talking about, like the new Assassin's Creed game that's coming out. It's supposed to be a mesh of all the games. Like, well, not all the mesh of all the games, but you're going to be able to play through all the protagonists of all previous Assassin's Creed games.
That's gonna be interesting to see.
So that is going to be interesting. So you'll be playing, have its own new story as you're going, but then you could also revisit what happened with Ezio, what happened with Connor, what happened with Arno, and then Altair and all things like that. So it should be interesting. So I mean,
it's gonna be interesting to
could
see
be something
how
that changes
plays
everything.
out. Most definitely, it's gonna be interesting to see how that all plays out, and if the protagonists end up meeting each other in some form or another.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about that. They did that too with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, where there's a mission that they did. What they did with a free update, they introduced a mission where the protagonist of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Eivor, got to meet the protagonist of the previous game, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and also worked and it worked the other way around too. If you still haven't played Valhalla, but you were on Odyssey, you would be able to meet the protagonist of the new game.
Which that's pretty cool that they're able to put that in both spectrums.
Ubisoft is smart.
Fucking Ubisoft, man.
Yeah.
If Ubisoft gets picked up by one of these big ass companies,
Well, even
it's
Ubisoft
over
with the rewards when you play, so when you play your games,
yes.
you get to a certain mission, they get, they give you points, and then you can redeem these points. But it doesn't. It's not just for that game. It could work for different games as well.
Yeah, you can get tons of in-game stuff. They had specific.
Yeah. And
at one point, they had specific DLC content that you could only get in the rewards section.
If you had enough points.
Yeah, you would have to complete certain challenges or whatever it was, which that entire
I know there's
system,
at some point. Yep, that was. Oh, sorry, I was gonna say at some point I remember there was one where you had to purchase a DLC, and I was able to get it with the points from Ubisoft. So they have something going on, and when they get picked up, it whoever picks them up, it's gonna work in their favor.
And I don't think anybody else has done that sort of reward system with that, because like you can play Assassin's Creed game and then go pick up some for Rainbow.
Yep.
So it's definitely.
I think they have it worked out. I think they have it, and it's also in different generations of systems. Because I know I have, like if you play Assassin's, like say if you went back into the older generation and you played it and everything, like they'll give you points for that, and you can use that for those newer games too.
It's called Ubisoft Club.
Ubisoft, man. Ubisoft is something different.
Because because they give you points to purchase like other special items and shit and stuff like that for your video game, like for whatever game that you're playing that's related to Ubisoft. So
yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, because I played Division 2 and Division and shit, and Ghost Recon, and I get special items from Ubisoft because I signed up through them because of the fucking games and shit, and you get special items and shit, collectibles and shit like that. Like it's good. It's actually worth it, shit. Like,
yeah, and then
would do it for me.
Because Square Enix do the same thing. Shit.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Square Enix does that same thing.
They do the same fucking thing.
I haven't used my points on Square Enix yet. I don't know what to get from there, but I think I have like 1,000 or something.
Sure.
I haven't even seen the Square Enix reward platform, but I can only imagine that it could. It's probably not on the same par as Ubisoft reward system in terms of the level of content they have, but it is cool to see these game developers creating this
I think this. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I think the Square Enix one, I think it's more of physical things.
Okay.
Compared to Ubisoft.
Right.
Because they have something simple as a poster or a lanyard, or one of those the pins, those character pins for the characters.
Yeah, they have pins.
They have that, things like that.
They have like the collectible statues and shit as well too, though. Like if they're not sold out and shit. But
yeah.
They have all kind of little neat things. But I know Square Enix, they do a lot more physical collectible item statues and shit more than anybody else. Shit.
Yep.
And those bad boys be costing about like hundreds of dollars and shit. I'm like, yeah, man.
They do.
I know, that's why I'm all like, PlayStation, man. Woo. Pick up Ubisoft. Or pick up fucking Square Enix. Hell, pick up both. Fuck.
Oh, they picked up both. It would be devastating for Xbox.
Yeah, they'll be mad as fuck. They'll be like, oh, really?
We just spent $1 billion some dollars on Activision. These motherfuckers picked up them. Fuck.
Well, I know we should have fucking just waited. It's like, yeah. Like, I'm even curious now because ever since that news broke that Ubisoft is up for grabs to be acquired, they're like, hey, shit, I wonder what Xbox is thinking. Actually, like, oh, fuck, we can throw some mad money at them. But then again, it's all like, how much money are they willing to throw?
Right.
even though both parties have said like, look, we're still going to continue to buy fucking companies. Like, we're going to continue to buy studios. Like, we're not done. But how much is how much? Like,
At
No,
this point,
like,
it's probably just whoever has the bigger capital.
really,
that's a analytic data point that I don't think a lot of people look at. Um, but you know, in Square, it's just Square Enix games. Like, for example, like there's a game a lot of people overlook, and it's Nier Automata.
got it.
Yep.
Phenomenal game. Phenomenal game. And Square Enix has phenomenal fucking titles. Their True Crime reboot with Sleeping Dogs took over for a while in terms of open world games, and I think that's one of the top open world games of all time in terms of what they did. I still truly believe till this day they should make another true crime, like a real true crime. But for what Square Enix is doing and how they rebooted Kingdom Hearts and their new Final Fantasy games, like they're killing it right now. They're really killing it.
I need to get back into Final Fantasy 14. Talking about Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy.
And the new Final Fantasy goes back into what I was talking about with that new level of user experience. Like these newer users that are coming into these franchises. Like there's so many goddamn Final Fantasy games. You know what I mean? So it gives a level of experience.
Remakes and anything.
It gives a level of experience for new people to come in and see what it's all about, and then go and revisit those games.
That's a whole
That and
lot.
they've been around, so they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they've been around for many, many years. So shit.
Aren't they coming out with a new Tomb Raider?
Yes, they is.
Boy.
Don't even get me started on that.
Boy, Tomb Raider, boy. How you feel about
What's
it, Red?
up, Renee?
I think it's dumb. They should fix Marvel's Avengers first before they go to Tomb Raider. And then the way they treated Marvel's Avengers, I don't think anyone's gonna want to mess around with Crystal Dynamics.
Look, Red. You want to know what? I'm gonna tell you this. They can go
But
back
it's
to
honestly not their fault. It's Square Enix too. They didn't have. I mean, they didn't even have faith in Guardians of the Galaxy, and look how that turned out.
and that turned out fucking bad. And that turned out good. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
But look, let's see. The reason why they can go back to Lara Croft is because understand this. All three of those bitches were pretty badass. So
They were.
they had a formula that worked for the Lara Croft. The
They did.
Marvel's Avengers was something brand fucking new to them. So it was like, okay, let's try something brand new and let's rock with it. Which they did pretty good with it, and they still are not.
They still are. I mean, they always say it's a dead game.
It's
not
still
a dead
going. Fucking game. They can do a lot more to that, and I want them to
No, well,
continue. to do a lot more. You know,
God damn it,
but-
Divine. You're going to get me started on this. God dang it. Well, they are, because they brought in a new lead and everything. They got Brian Wagner. He's, his team is supposed to be redoing the game from the ground up, their foundation. And, these new updates they're just coming out, they're rolling out, they're fixing bugs. They're apart from always fixing bugs, because there's always something new.
Yep.
They're fixing the raid, they're giving us more end game content, more ways to farm, exotic gear, end game gear that you need, and then, they're giving you units so you can use to buy, emotes, skins and things like that, and they just as time has gone now, they've been just reworking the whole system from the ground up because it wasn't working for them, and it's taking time. So that's probably, we haven't had new DLC, and they just recently announced, Mighty Thor coming, Jane Foster Thor coming, and just today,
I call him the Marvel's Avengers prophet, Miller out on Twitter. He's always, leaking stuff of what's coming for the game, and it's, some things are true, some things are not, or some things, be more down the road. But, again, he leaked today voiceover, VOs of people, voice actors talking in the game, but, they're referencing She-Hulk, they're referencing Bucky, the Winter Soldier, they're referencing Captain Marvel. So, they're working on things like that, and it's coming. But like I said, they're reworking the whole game itself, so it's gonna take a while before we get more things.
How would you feel if in Marvel Avengers they kind of did it similar how they did it to how Bungie did Destiny 1, where you had to play a majority of the game and reach a specific level before you could enter PvP? Like, what if they added PvP to Marvel Avengers?
That would be interesting to see, because just the community itself with they kind of were trying to do it. They had the Civil War events called that within the community itself that they would create. You go up, get a certain team will go up against this other team, and who get more times and missions. So they've kind of been trying to do it just our own way in the community, but it's something that people have clamored for. But I don't know if it would work with Marvel's Avengers. Maybe after they do bring out all the characters they want to bring out at the moment, and then we get past the whole incoming Kree invasion, maybe they could do it. They could do a Civil War storyline, and that's when they'll introduce, PvP.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah, because I feel like if they do a Civil War after they do the Kree invasion, and I pray to God that they do the Kree invasion bad as fuck. Like, just do.
Well, no, Divine has seen it. They brought back Nick Fury now.
Yeah.
And he knows that what's happened with the Kree invasion. So, at this point, it's, getting all the heroes they can get. And then, maybe after that, it's all Kree invasion, there's a fallout, and, with it pick sides.
Civil War.
I think that would be dope to see. I think that'll kind of.
It would be dope, and it would continue the game itself, and you don't have to do. I mean, maybe at some point they probably should just start doing paid DLC so they can get their money back. Because I think that would have been perfect if they just went that route instead of saying, "Oh, free characters." It's cool and all, but they would have had more funding.
Yeah, they would have a lot more funding to do a lot more things.
I mean, right now they have all the MCU skins, but. Yeah. You have a whole bunch of MCU skins right now, and it's great, and they look fantastic. It's banger after banger, but people are now whining or complaining, like, hey, it's too much MCU skins. We want comic book accurate skins, and I don't know. They just there's a little level of toxicity to the Marvel's Avengers community.
Yeah.
Like people outside who who don't mess around too much with Marvel's Avengers, like I've read and heard, or just heard it on other podcasts and things, that they think the Marvel's Avengers community is like super toxic. Like I mean they doxed the dev during one of the streams. Like, what the heck? It's pretty dumb.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a game, not something to take too serious as well.
All right, who do you think's more toxic, the Marvel Avengers community or the Call of Duty community?
Call of Duty. Call of Duty. It's getting up there though. It's getting up there.
Call of Duty have no shame, no mercy.
Yeah. They don't give a fuck.
They don't. They show no mercy. I'm like, oh. That's how you feel, huh? Okay, you had a bad day on this one. Okay. Tell me how you really feel then. Go ahead.
Oh, man. Imagine playing just Call of Duty and then you just loss after loss and you haven't got a dub. I can see how you can get toxic.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I've heard my brother play
He's my little brother, and I'll hear him like late at night. Like that man is cursing and just every curse word he can think of because that man is losing. On Vanguard.
Son of a bitch! What the
Everything. Even in Rocket League, like people are he himself is toxic. In Rocket League.
Rocket League community, dude.
That's a whole different aspect too. Like, I mean, you can be toxic everywhere, but I think there's a certain level to the competition that you can be, for it. But I don't know. Sometimes you can take it too far.
There's a humongous fucking skill gap in Rocket League. Don't try going into a fucking. Don't be a beginner in Rocket League and try to go up against pros because they will chew your ass out.
Yep.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
Like, what the fuck?
There are some toxic gaming communities out there. I think another toxic ass gaming community is the Fallout community. Because, like, not in terms of just, like, how they are, but, like, how they feel about the game and how Fallout 4 came out. A lot of people were pissed. They fucking livid. So, and it's also going to be interesting to see what they do with the Fallout series in general. But, like, in terms of toxicity, like, they don't give a fuck either. Like, they'll call it the devs straight up.
I still haven't even finished Fallout 4.
Fallout.
But,
I'm like, I've not played any Fallout there.
I've never played them either until Fallout 4. And then from there I kind of went back on them and just to see how that story worked out. And I liked it.
Very interesting. It's definitely something you gotta get into. Because, you can't just pick up a Fallout game and expect it to be like every other shooter.
Right.
It's kind of like the BioShock series.
Yeah, BioShock was a trippy ass series. No lie.
But
I feel like they're gonna bring another BioShock there.
That'd be interesting.
They probably will.
That'd be interesting.
I feel like they can redo BioShock. They're like, you know what? Let's bring this back. Let's bring this classic back to the forefront.
How y'all feel about it? Like, I don't know if you guys have played Infamous, but how you guys feel about new Infamous?
We need a new Infamous. We need to bring back Cole McGrath. I want Cole McGrath to team up with what's his name?
What, from
Kaden?
the Second Son?
Yeah, whatever the third one is. From Second Son, what's his name? I forgot it.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about, but yeah.
Oh, Destin? Devin?
Yeah,
Destin?
Devin or something like that. Yeah.
Have him team up. Well, from the whole lore and everything and following the story, Cole's still alive.
Then they need to bring. So, hey, if they do another, if they were to do another Infamous saga, I will bring back Cole and Second Son and the first, and was it the DLC, the girl? Bring all together. That will be a badass fucking game.
That'd be really good.
And you already know who's the developer behind that, right?
You know who it is? Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch. Like, hey, Sucker Punch, you guys want to get back to the Infamous? Even though we know that they're
probably working on too.
Well, I know they're working on Ghost of Tsushima too right now.
Maybe after.
I feel like they can do that after. I mean, like, I feel like Sucker Punch is big enough that they can work on 2 projects at the same time.
No, yeah.
I think they are big enough.
I think they
So
could.
I feel like I feel like they can still continue on with Ghost of Tsushima 2, which of course I love that, and do another Infamous and be like, hell yeah, because Infamous Second Son, I thought that was a beautiful, badass game. 'Cause I was like, damn, you in fucking Seattle? This is badass. Fuck.
It's somewhat accurate. Living in the area, it's somewhat accurate.
Yeah, I was like, what in the? I was like, you know what? This game still looks fucking gorgeous.
I'll be like, I'll jump up in the air in the game from the Space Needle and be like, I can see my house.
Shit.
On the horizon, not the other side, but it's there.
Yeah, we need another Infamous game. There's a lot of games. Yep, there is. There's a lot that they can actually bring back. 'Cause I feel like a lot of these companies are trying to bring something new, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like they're running out of ideas. But I'm all like, at the same time, you guys can go. It's safe for you guys to go back and bring out some classics and continue some classics. Like, for example, Remedy is doing another. They're going back and fucking remastering fucking Max Payne 1 and Max Payne 2. I'm all like, fuck yeah. So for Remedy and Rockstar to come together again and have that partnership to be like, all right, you know what? We'll come together and we'll work together on a fucking remaster of Max Payne 1 and 2. I'm fucking so psyched about that. I can't wait for that shit to drop. Cause I'm a huge Max Payne fan.
Too.
Fuck. That shit was hard. I got all those bitches. Shit.
That's gonna be a hit for sure.
Yeah, cause like the graphics on that are gonna look bad as fuck.
You know, like, and there's some other games like going into some PlayStation classics. How y'all feel about Little Big Planet?
You know what?
I need more. I
feel like they can do that.
in high school, I was just in Little Big Planet too. I even got the PlayStation Move for Little Big Planet karting. That was fun.
No, yeah.
See? I mean, like, if they
Little
can.
Big Planet franchise is something crazy.
I haven't gotten the new one because I want to get it for when I have a PS5. And I've been slacking on it, but I should probably introduce Little Big Planet to my son. It's really fun.
Boy, he'll be on that shit every day.
It's a good game. I really is exploring other.
The creator side of Little Big Planet is something different as well, because like people figured out how to make different shit. Like
I remember
from nothing.
like I said I'm doing because I did a Flash costume and a Batman they had, and then like months later they gave me stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Gotcha.
That's dope as shit.
There's being created.
I remember,
Oh, yeah.
I think it was either Little Big Planet 2 or Little Big Planet 3 in the creator side that somebody made some FPS shooter that was like legitimately an FPS shooter in Little Big Planet and had like you could walk through halls.
Oh, I played that one. That was really good. That was really good.
Like crazy. And on the midst of it, like you first look at the Little Big Planet and then you see somebody do that. It's just like, well, some of these people gotta be hired on these game developer teams because like.
Well, they brought in what's that game that they made? Create, I think. That was a good. I tried that out at PAX West, I think in 2019. I think it was, or 2018. And it was fun with. And people would make like games within that. A whole creative game just to let you run wild.
Oh yeah.
Don't that for I'll get to it.
User created content is something different. Something different. It's kind of like Mario Maker. You know?
I need to get Mario Maker. people are so creative on Mario Maker.
It's
Like-
ridiculous. Like it's out of this world how creative people are on Mario Maker.
Let your creative juices
What
flow.
are you playing?
Oh, that's a Batman in the background.
Batman Arkham. It's an Arkham game.
That is dark. I was like, it is dark.
Yes, it is.
Yo, speaking of which, what's that new Gotham game coming out?
Gotham Knights.
Yeah, how y'all feel about Gotham Knights? And it's like current delay stage.
I'm glad it's delayed. It's giving the GOAT Marvel's Avengers Game of the Year. You know, it's about to do the No Man's Sky turnaround because of all these delays. They're taking advantage of it.
No, yeah.
But I think it's good that they saying it's good, but I'm saying, you know, be able to do things more better and not have a game.
Right. I don't think anybody wants to pull a Battlefield 2042.
No, they don't. Of course not. The fuck? That would be
I
a
was
bad
saying, I
move.
actually was watching a video earlier before we got on. People were people. You could grapple, so you throw a smoke bomb and you could grapple from the smoke to the smoke.
On 2042?
Yeah.
What the fuck kind of clip down here?
Or you could throw C4 over 100 meters.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Damn. Tossing that shit like we're in Call of Duty. Which, speaking of Call of Duty, how do you feel about the button change for the C4 detonation?
When did they change it?
Well, they didn't change it, but it's not like it's not the same instant effect anymore. So how they did it in Cold War, you can still double tap square, but they pull out the thing and click it instead of it just exploding.
No, I think I like works better. So like if you put it down and then, you know, go around and someone near it and you pick it, they'll blow up.
Oh yeah, it kind of acts as like a makeshift bouncing Betty almost.
Or you can just throw it on a vehicle and then just launch it at them and then just click right at the moment and then they'll blow up and die in the game.
Oh yeah, 100%. What else we got, boys?
Things so far.
Well, I'm not reading, but I'm listening about this fucking Gotham Knights. What everything to know about this shit?
Oh, we done got
I'm
Gibson
like-
started.
Yeah, I'm like already. So far for me, Gotham Knights, I'm not going in front. I'm glad it's delayed and all, but the story that I've been reading so far, I'm so intrigued by this shit. Because all the Batman games, like all the Arkhams, even Batman Origins was badass shit.
No,
I'm
yeah.
all like, all the Batman games have been on fucking point. So for them to fucking carry on and do something different, like,
Is Gotham Knights in the Arkhamverse?
all right, so Gotham Knights is in the Origins universe because it's done by WB Montreal.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Suicide Squad killed the Justice
That one's
League.
Rocksteady.
That's Rocksteady. That's in the fucking Arkham universe.
I'm interested to see how that game turns out.
That
And
one
that
too
one-
got delayed.
Yeah, that one got delayed too, and that one's badass too. I'm like, fuck. So we get to get like two DC games that I'm like, yeah, I want to fuck with.
It's the Marvel Avenger gods. They didn't allow it. They still have time.
So you see Marvel's Avengers is gonna be Game of the Year?
It's gonna be ongoing game of the year. It's a, it should make a category called not a dead game yet.
Hey,
For all the haters.
a game that's still going strong.
It's going.
It's still it's still going strong and kicking.
Speaking of some games, and I
Level, but
think
there.
me and Gibson talked about this a couple, I think it was maybe a month and a half ago. GameSpot posted a post on Cyberpunk, and they released it on Best Buy for $5.
Yep.
How do we feel about Cyberpunk 2077?
Should stay how it is. Cyberbug 2077. They said it was going to be such a great game and it was going to be game changing and everything. And there was a time when Marvel's Avengers came out too, and they were giving people crap about Marvel's Avengers, but
Well, Marvel's Avengers picked up the pace. Cyberpunk definitely.
it picked up the pace. But at the time, they're like, "Oh yeah, Cyberpunk's gonna be such a great game, and everyone's gonna flock over to Cyberpunk and all that stuff." Recover. Well, I mean, I played it on Stadia. Well, on Stadia there was no things like that at the time when I played it, but
Poor Canoe Reeves.
it's fun. I think it's fun, and it's an interesting story what they want to do with Cyberpunk. And I've yet to finish a story for V, but
It's just very
I think it'd be
sad.
something I would want to go back to when it's rid of all the bugs and things like that. It's something I probably would go back to.
Oh yeah, and it's sad to say because like
Customization was insane. Like every detail of every.
it's like I remember the first announcement for Cyberpunk 2077, and it's like at first like, oh shit, we're getting a new Cyberpunk game, and then we got that. Boy, people, I forget. I remember one video. It was like the whole game didn't load in properly. He's like, dude, this looks like I'm playing this on a PlayStation 1.
I've seen that. I've seen some. Like bugs are so bad it was.
It was pretty much unplayable.
It is. It was literally broken.
Had so many delays and it was still fucking broken. That's why I'm bugging out on fucking Cyberpunk, because even me and Dank were so hyped on that game, and I was like, look, that game sounds so promising that it was supposed to be game of the fucking year. And look what happened. That game, they fucking still released it and it was still fucking broken.
Well, that's No Man's Sky came out. They promised multiplayer and just so many features to it, but I think did pretty bad at the beginning of it. But over the course of the 6 years now, it's one of the examples for other studios.
And there's a lot of games that came out and just had a very slow start, and they really picked up the pace. But like, goddamn, poor Canoe Reeves in Cyberpunk. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What's that game?
Like, hell yeah, it's crazy, but it is what it is, though. Fuck. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like,
Not much we can do about it. We gotta put Red
No.
over there in the studio and see what he can do about it.
well, hey, take your fucking time. Don't worry about fucking. If we're not gonna meet the deadline, we're not gonna meet the deadline. That means that we still need more time.
That sounds like Marvel's Avengers right now, because they were supposed to give us a roadmap before the end of the first quarter for 2021, and then one of the devs went on Reddit and they were saying like, you know what, we don't have the roadmap yet, and we're just gonna do updates, and then that's how we're gonna be everything that we're gonna give you via the roadmap because we don't know how that looks like, even though people are, oh, it's okay or whatever. Or give us the roadmap, So at this point, give us what you're gonna give us. Delay it. But if you have the content, release it. Don't just tell us you don't. Things like that. I'm not, it's a lot of games have been doing just that. And updates, they're going with new updates. They'll tell you what's in it and things like that instead of roadmap.
Yeah, they have a certain level of transparency with the community that's
able to be... There's more transparency. Usually there's always enough games.
Right. Yeah.
That looks out into the future, or maybe a year, and can't be certain. Hey, I'm gonna. It's like saying you're gonna Christmas or something, and you're not sure because you're not there yet. It's not Christmas time.
No, yeah.
Yeah, and it's better like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna do this week.
I am
truly, that's close and things like that.
I'm truly excited for the gaming world in the holiday season this year. It's gonna be interesting to see what goes and pops off in the holiday season. Most definitely. Are we getting a new Silent Hill?
Are we getting a new Silent Hill? Well,
not sure.
I would think
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, hearing whispers that Konami is willing to play ball.
Konami gotta come out with some spicy. They gotta come out with some spicy.
Yeah, they do need to come out with something. They need to stop fucking playing around. Cause...
Yo, you know what I just thought of?
What?
There's a game back on the PlayStation 2 and GameCube. I don't know if you guys ever played it, but I personally do believe that I feel like this game should get a sequel just for what it was at that time period. iNinja.
What is it called?
iNinja.
iNinja? Is it with those ninjas that have big ass heads?
Yeah, well, he has like an oval. He has a Stewie head.
Yeah.
Never played that one.
That game was pretty
dope. I never played it, but I know what you're talking about.
I think that game should get a sequel or at least a remaster HD version. Because in the level of it brought, at the time period, it brought a level of platforming that a lot of people were already accustomed, and then it brought a combat style that not a lot of people were used to. It's kind of like what they did with Pac-Man World 3, but which, if anybody hasn't played Pac-Man World 3, just know that in that game, Pac-Man learns how to punch.
We got a fucking punching Pac-Man.
We got a punching Pac-Man, punching ghosts. There's a full combat system in Pac-Man World 3. Besides just the bounciness that Pac-Man usually does.
I don't even think I've ever played that Pac-Man game.
Did you play Pac-Man World 2?
Nope.
Did you play any of the Pac-Man worlds?
No, I didn't. I don't think I played the Pac-Man worlds. I just played the original Pac-Man worlds. I mean, the original Pac-Man games.
So Pac-Man World...
Like the arcade one?
Okay. So Pac-Man World was basically a 3D adaptation similar to like Mario 64, but for Pac-Man. So they kind of... they gave a level of hub worldiness, but they basically gave it a platformer feel. And then they challenged it and brought Pac-Man World 2 that brought underwater levels and these skating levels that Pac-Man used roller skates. And then Pac-Man World 3 brought in a storyline where they gave Pac-Man an actual voice, so he actually talked.
Oh wow.
And that's what kind of set up the whole like Pac-Man TV series a little bit, because now
I've seen.
Yeah,
it's pretty fun.
So Pac-Man, you know, he ended up having a voice, and they brought a whole combat system. There was different worlds and shit like that. And you know, I think they should come out with a Pac-Man World 4. I think it would be interesting to see what they could do in terms of 3D platforming for Pac-Man.
Sounds fun.
But I don't think it's going to be anything that Namco comes out in the future anytime soon.
Well, I don't think so, because they're still working on DLC 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 for Xenoverse 2.
Yep.
So that's where Bandai's at right now. And then the rumored Ninja Storm 5. Naruto Ninja Storm 5.
That's going to be awesome.
Man, not just Ninja Storm.
That's going to be awesome.
That's gonna be really fun.
Because a lot of people,
Awesome.
and me personally, I mean, a lot of people didn't like Shinobi Striker.
You know, I never picked it up, but from what I've seen, from what I've seen of it and everything, it's basically like a Xenoverse,
Yeah,
but for the Naruto world.
It's a Xenoverse-esque game for Naruto. The only difference is it's more it's heavily PvP based, like heavily PvP based. Like it had its like story challenge missions, kind of similar how Xenoverse has the parallel quests.
Yeah.
It was pretty much the same thing with what they were doing, but it's very, very heavily PvP based. They had a competitive mode called Ninja World League that you could play against people, you know, online on a competitive level, and there was a complete ranking system that goes very, 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 very high up, and I kid you not, it takes forever to level up all the way to 100 to get to the next ranking. Like the grinding on that, and the PvP is like, they have domination mode, which is basically Call of Duty domination, where you gotta capture the flags. They have capture the flag, and then they have Guardian or some shit like that, where there's an attacking team that you have to go and basically kill a boss, so it's Gamabunta, and then the opposite side is defending Gamabunta. So the attacking side raises up these stakes that bring off a shield that's over the frog, and that's your like time period to, you know, do your attacks before the shield comes back up again, and you have to bring up the stakes. And then the defending side is stopping those players from bringing up the stakes.
Sounds fun, but that sounds fun. I'll probably pick it up when it's on discount.
The other thing that a lot of people use
Try it out.
And do is the Chunin Exams mode, which is basically Battle Royale for Naruto. Very minuscule Battle Royale, free-for-all, with up to 9 people. It's pretty cool.
That sounds like fun.
It's pretty cool. I like the game. A lot of people don't like it just because they're very used to the Ninja Storm series. But for what it was, I think it was a good adaptation, and it's definitely something the Naruto community needed. Just going off of Jump Force and Xenoverse, because Dragon Ball, they hit their mark with Xenoverse. And I think the first game, and I was talking to Gibson, I forget what game it was, but it was the game that introduced the Naruto Goku suit, and it had the same fighting mechanics as Xenoverse, but the DLC was Naruto, or not Naruto, it was Dragon Ball in the Naruto gear, and he had the big scroll with a staff, and he had his global.
Oh yeah, that was in the first Xenoverse.
That shit was cool as fuck. But we got anything else for tonight? Do you think?
I think we've covered a lot. I think that was good.
Yeah, we definitely covered a lot. Well, we're definitely gonna create another topic list tomorrow. Whatever comes to mind, we'll definitely be talking about. I think we covered a lot of gaming news and our personal opinions and debates, and rebooting, throwbacks and whatnot. Um, we've had another successful episode, and I think we're doing fucking pretty damn good so far.
I think so too.
Featuring Red's face cam in episode 2.
Finally.
So
Finally.
yeah, we're definitely hitting our mark with what we're doing, and I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it. It's fun. I like these debates and going into the deep dives and gaming news and whatnot. It's fun.
Going off script a bit.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That's podcast, baby. Fuck.
Episode 3, we're gonna come back to the Dragon Ball debate because I watched.
Yeah, we need to hit. That's gonna need a full episode.
Yeah, that's gonna definitely need another full episode.
Dragon Ball.
Any other news that pops off in the morning tomorrow, whatever, breaking news and whatnot, obviously we will talk about it. Elon Musk
We'll find out about it.
Elon Musk is on a tyrant. He posted a picture yesterday. He said you can't get in trouble on Twitter if you own Twitter.
Daddy
Pretty
Musk
funny.
is gonna end up buying PlayStation and Xbox, and he's gonna delete everyone's accounts.
Fuck yeah.
Go touch grass.
That's gonna be hilarious if he does that. That man, he's pulling power moves out of his ass.
He secretly loves Nintendo, and he's gonna get rid of every other game console. Force everyone to get a Nintendo Switch.
He's gonna install Nintendo Switches in his Tesla.
Exactly. Buy a Tesla, you get a Nintendo Switch.
But
What?
like, imagine, and then on the steering wheel you have the buttons.
He should do just to mess with people. He should be like your Twitter account if you get a Tesla.
Just put that bitch on autopilot and you can still play your game.
Play a game.
There you go. Yeah. Episode 2, man. Episode 2. I'm gonna take a commemory shot for episode 2 because it's been fun.
Been a good ride,
And-
fellas. Hell yeah.
And good.
For our next realm community, I am going to be saying this in this episode because off of my next drop on Friday, it's going to be something that I start next week with the email subscriber list. So anybody who signs up to the email subscriber list, we're going to be doing some next realm gear giveaways. So we're going to give away some next realm gear.
Good.
And I'm thinking that we do a creator-based giveaway, that we have people like either come in a stream or we do some type of poll or something that gives either a creator seat or founder seat up for grabs. I think that would be dope.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, as I said in the last episode,
I think it would be Ben. I mean, if that'd be
No, yeah.
something. Take that out. Get in early.
Yeah. But as I said in the last episode, obviously we all know the scope of where Next Realm is going. And now, this episode was supposed to be streamed on Inside Next Realm, but unfortunately, Dank had some circumstances, so I didn't get the email and password. So, whenever we do our episode on there, then I will be switching all these episodes over there as pre-recordings. So anyone seeing these episodes, just know that if you were here, you were here. And when you see this, you will probably see it on Inside Next Realm.
Oh yeah, that's where it's gonna be at.
I will be making another note list for the topics for episode 3. We'll probably figure out a title during the day of what we want to do as the main topic for the beginning portion, first 20 minutes or so. But other than that, another successful episode. It's been a ride. It's been fun.
Yeah.
You already know.
Been really good. Just
This is Next Arm TV, episode 2. And we are your hosts, Bully, myself, my boy Red Blue, my boy Divine. And that's it.
Y'all have a good night, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Nights.